Good morning, this is Uttam K Dave. I am a numerologist, a spiritual coach, and a fortune teller, and I welcome you to video number 9 of how to select a numerologist. As like other videos, today I'm going to discuss three very important points which you need to keep in mind when you're out to find a numerologist for your help. The first thing which you need to keep in mind when you are looking out for a numerologist is how do they charge you? There are certain numerologists who charge you by the minute. There are certain numerologists who charge you a flat fee irrespective of the kind of problems you have. And there are numerologists like me. Now, if you were to ask me how do I charge, my fees are based on three things. The first is the number of questions, the type of questions, and the complexity of the questions. So based on these three factors, I charge my fees. Fine, so make sure that you ask your numerologist how is he going to charge you. The second factor which you need to keep in mind when you are trying to select a numerologist for yourself is a very easy and a practical way is to look at their Facebook posts or look at their Twitter posts or look at their YouTube videos and see whether you find them relatable or not. If you find a common chord between you and the Facebook posts or the Twitter posts or the YouTube videos, it means there is some kind of compatibility between you and the numerologist, and you are likely to get a good to excellent reading from a numerologist. On the other hand, if you see that the Facebook posts or other Twitter posts or YouTube posts or Instagram posts are something very different from your own mindset, from your own belief system, then you may not be able to work with this numerologist in a very positive way so as to give you positive results. So in that case, you have to select another numerologist. And the third thing which is very important is don't just think that the numerologist should give you a definite answer as to when something will happen. This is a problem also with the client who's asking the question, and sometimes because the client's mind is so conditioned to think in a certain way that they want a definite time period for a certain thing to happen. Now, as a numerologist, what I normally do is I always mention all the different possibilities of what can happen. So, for example, if somebody comes to me with a court problem, when that court case will get resolved, I always give them according to my own numerological calculations, I give them a slight indication of when this problem is likely to be resolved. But at the same time, I also tell them that the problem can be resolved even before the time I indicated, or it could be even after the time I indicated. Now you must be wondering as to why a numerologist cannot mention the exact specific time and date when an event would occur. Now let me tell you one thing. It is next to impossible for a human being to give 100% accurate reading of when something will happen, because numerology, or for that matter any other fortune telling science, has certain limitation. And to be very frank and honest with you, the universe, there are so many factors in the universe which act upon anything which you do. So for example, if you've just applied for a job, it's not just that your application is good, or your interview went well. There are so many other hidden factors about which we do not have any idea of how they are combining, in what intensity they are combining, or in what way they are combining. So there are so many hidden factors even beyond what the numerological calculations is telling you. So it is humanly impossible for anyone to mention exactly the date and the time when something is going to happen. So when you see a numerologist, you have to make sure that he gives you the different possibilities of a certain problem, and he cannot give it to you in writing that this is when this thing will happen, because that is something which is beyond his control. So make sure that you follow these things, these suggestions when you go out to select a numerologist. Thank you very much.